kind of struck me because I started the songwriting in January 2021, and that was in the middle of the pandemic. The idea was because the previous album had already come out in April of 2020, and the idea was to do a long tour right after that, but then COVID hit and everything stopped, and suddenly I had a lot of free time in my hand, and I thought, what am I gonna do with all this time? Might as well start writing songs for the next Nightwish album. So that's what happened throughout the whole of 2021. It might be a bit shocking for some people because it's not your typical Nightwish song, but it's a piece that had to be written because I feel really strongly about the subject matter of that song, which is fear-mongering. Throughout the history of mankind, for tens of thousands of years, fear has controlled us, whether it's authorities, like political figures, religious figures, and in the modern era, especially media. We are being spoon-fed this bullshit that the world is a terrible place and it's all gonna go to hell really soon. I mean, how many times have there been predictions of the end of the world? Y2K, the ending of the Mayan calendar, throughout the history, and we're still here and the world is what it is. It doesn't mean that we have a lot of problems that need to be solved, and there are some terrifying things going on at the moment in the world, but we should also always keep the positive things about this planet, about humankind, about our future in mind. And that is the core message of this song. Don't give in to the fear-mongering and always try to keep the positive things in mind, because there are so many things that we are doing right also. Would you rather go to the dentist today or 200 years ago? Just to give an example. So that's what the song is about. There's a lot of lyrics. Floor is acting like this preacher of the end of the world times, and then in the chorus you have the sweet children's choir telling us everybody how things really are and should be and will be at some point. Well, the song that we just discussed about, The Day Off, is something that I thought I would never write. But due to everything I've seen and experienced during the past years, just forced me to write this song. And I could imagine that it's gonna piss off a lot of people because of what it's about. But the purpose of art is to, shake things up a little bit. So. Well, that song is all about time. It's just think about this fact for a while. You have a mother who had a mother who had a mother. It has to be an unbroken chain of mothers for millions of generations. And it has to be unbroken for you to exist in this present time and place. I mean, we are so ridiculously lucky to be alive, because if just one of those ancestors would have happened to die during the Stone Age, or 100 years ago, or 1,000,000 years ago, you would not exist. So we really are the ancestor of really lucky survivors. And this idea, this fact, really gives me an exhilarating feeling of being alive at the moment. And this particular fact is what this song wants to bring out. It's a very hopeful idea. That's why we wanted to do a song about it. I didn't know about it until like 3.5 years ago when I read a book called Humankind by Rutger Bregman. And this book had this story of the Tongan castaways included. And I was like, wow, why does nobody know about this story? It's so beautiful. It's like real life Lord of the Flies, but completely opposite. And I found the story to be highly inspirational and also important in it reminding us what human nature can really be like. because it's a common conception that if you put a bunch of people into an isolated place, like an island or prison, they instantly become savages and start killing each other in the most Darwinian ways possible. But the story of the children of Ada proves otherwise, and there's a lesson to be learned somewhere there. Yeah, it's Tongan language. It's an ancient Tongan prayer that these Tongan people that we brought into the Abbey Road studios performed. Yeah, yeah, it was an incredible day to hear them perform that. There were 5 of them, a soloist Hanali who did the beginning, and then there were a couple of blokes doing the ooh, ooh in the C part. You really get this Southern Pacific vibe with those sounds into it. And we were also really careful to do everything just right, to get the right lyrics. They were really strict about it as well, that it goes the authentic, traditional way. Nothing happening in there. Yeah, I'm a big fan of film scores. My biggest musical heroes come from the film music genre. John Williams, the best ever. Him, Hans Zimmer, Danny Elfman, James Newton Howard, Ennio Morricone, just to mention a few. So I'm really into that stuff. That's the kind of music that I listen to if I listen to music, which I don't do very much anymore. But yeah, writing a score to a film has been in the back of my mind for 25 years, but never been asked, and I don't even know if it would be my cup of tea, because you are really confined to the story and to how the director wants you to write, and I'm not sure if I would be up to that. Never say never, but Jukkis, our new bass player, is such a brilliant, grounding personality and a tremendous bass player, so he's gonna be the Nightwish bass player for the future.